waking up in the silent lunar dark. Inside a microscopic crystal, older than the dinosaurs, scientists just uncovered a divine forbidden material that could either unlock limitless cosmic power or instantly erase our greatest cities from existence. As scientists began analyzing the pristine 2 kilograms of lunar regolith brought back by Changisite-Y, they realized they were not just looking at cold, extraterrestrial soil, but unlocking the pages of Earth's forgotten ancestry. For generations, the true origin of our companion remained shrouded in mystery, obscured by the passage of billions of years. Yet, deep within the chemical signature of this basalt and solidified lava lies the definitive proof of a cosmic cataclysm. This is the story of the giant impact hypothesis, a terrifying epoch when a wild, newborn Earth collided with Theia, a restless protoplanet roughly the size of Mars. It was an apocalyptic event of unimaginable violence, tearing our infant world apart, vaporizing entire oceans of rock and sending a massive ring of molten debris screaming into orbit. Out of this absolute planetary destruction, a beautiful poetic irony emerged. The chaotic debris did not vanish into the void. Instead, gravity gently gathered the scattered fragments, forging them into a brilliant protective guardian. The moon was born from our own flesh and bone, a silent sentinel destined to watch over its parent world. Looking at those samples, you are forced into a profound philosophical realization about our own existence. Without the moon to stabilize our planet's chaotic axial tilt, Earth would have suffered wild, unpredictable climate swings that would choke out any chance of survival. More importantly, without its relentless gravitational pull generating the grand rhythms of our ocean tides, our global waters would have remained stagnant, lifeless puddles. The birth of the moon, an event born from pure destruction, was the ultimate catalyst that allowed life to crawl out of the ancient seas and evolve into the conscious minds we possess today. Deep within the sterile, high-security laboratories of the Beijing Research Institute, scientists embarked on an agonizingly meticulous quest, sifting through a sea of cosmic dust. They examined more than 140,000 individual lunar grains, searching for anything that slipped past our current understanding of geology. Then, hidden inside that microscopic haystack, they found it. A single, transparent crystal, completely colorless and incredibly fragile, measuring only about 1/10 the width of a human hair. It sat under the microscope like a tiny phantom ghost trapped in the glass, waiting more than 1 billion years to be seen. By tracing its radioactive signature, researchers unlocked a history dating back 1.2 billion years, to an era when ancient lunar volcanoes still spewed rivers of fire across the plains of the moon. This was not just a fleeting hypothesis. The discovery was rigorously tested and validated by the International Mineralogical Association. They confirmed that this microscopic shard possessed a crystal structure entirely unique to science, a precise arrangement of matter that does not exist anywhere on Earth. They named this alien mineral Changisite-Y, a direct tribute to the Chinese goddess of the moon, cementing a historic breakthrough that rewrites our understanding of planetary evolution. Beyond its immense scientific value, Changisite-Y triggered a profound geopolitical shift in the modern space race. With this single microscopic discovery, China shattered an old monopoly, becoming only the third nation in human history, following the United States and the Soviet Union, to ever discover a brand new mineral on the surface of another world. It stands as a chilling reminder that the moon is not a dead, familiar rock, but a treasure chest of alien secrets waiting for those bold enough to dig. As researchers pushed the deep chemical analysis of Changisite-Y to its absolute limits, the microscopic crystal revealed a secret far more provocative than its unique structure: a high concentration of trapped helium-3. To truly understand the weight of this discovery, we have to look past the skies of Earth and deconstruct the grandest misconception in human history. We are taught as children that the sun is a majestic, burning ball of fire, but that is a comforting lie. There is no fire in the sky. The sun is a brutal, chaotic nuclear fusion engine, an ongoing thermonuclear crisis holding the entire solar system hostage in its gravitational vice. Deep inside its core, an intense, crushing gravity compresses trillions of frantic hydrogen atoms, forcing them to fuse into heavier helium. This violent process releases a blinding scream of unimaginable energy into the infinite void, a radiation storm that has sustained life on Earth for eons. And it is here, within this cosmic furnace, that helium-3 is born, an element so potent it feels like stealing the literal fire of the gods. The physical properties of helium-3 are nothing short of miraculous. When utilized in a controlled nuclear fusion reaction, it yields vastly more energy than any fuel source known to mankind, easily eclipsing typical nuclear fission. But its true, divine beauty lies in its cleanliness. Unlike the heavy toxic radioactive elements we use today, a helium-3 fusion reaction releases no deadly radiation and leaves behind zero high-level radioactive waste. It is a source of pure, limitless power that defies the traditional laws of pollution, offering a future where humanity can exploit the raw energy of a star without poisoning the very planet we call home. Discovering this pristine power source trapped inside a tiny lunar crystal changes everything, turning our pale satellite from a romantic barren desert into the ultimate energy frontier. On Earth, helium-3 is an impossible ghost, a treasure buried at a miserable 1 in a million ratio. Our planet's thick atmospheric shield and powerful magnetic field act as a flawless defense system, beautifully deflecting the dangerous radiation of the cosmos, but tragically locking out the very element that could save our future. The Moon, however, possesses no such luxury. With no atmosphere to protect it, our pale neighbor has stood as a silent, passive collector for over 4 billion years, brutally bombarded by relentless solar winds. This endless cosmic beating turned the lunar soil into a massive vault, hoarding an estimated 1 million tons of helium-3. To put that into perspective, a mere 20 to 25 tons of this divine isotope could fully power a massive superpower nation like the United States or China for an entire year. The Moon is literally covered in an energy source capable of sustaining all of human civilization for thousands of years. Yet, extracting this celestial fortune forces us to confront a terrifying, unforgiving reality: the curse of lunar dust. This is not the soft, pillowy dust found on Earth. It is a microscopic nightmare. Because the Moon has no wind or water to erode and smooth out rough edges, these tiny silicate particles remain incredibly jagged and sharp, acting like millions of microscopic shards of broken glass. During the Apollo missions, this aggressive dust proved to be a malicious enemy. It easily ate through the heavy fabric of spacesuits, destroyed airtight mechanical seals, and hitched a ride inside the lunar modules. When the astronauts breathed it in, they noticed a strange, unsettling smell like burnt gunpowder. Minutes later, their bodies revolted. The sharp silicates triggered an agonizing, suffocating condition known as lunar hay fever, leaving the pioneers coughing, congested, and crying with swollen, bloodshot eyes. The Moon is a harsh, deceptive sanctuary, a world offering us the ultimate key to infinite power, but fiercely guarding it with a toxic razor. Even if we overcome the toxic curse of the lunar dust, we are instantly brought to our knees by the brutal, unyielding economics of space travel. Escaping Earth's gravity requires an absurd, catastrophic amount of fuel. According to NASA's calculations, it costs roughly $500,000 just to send a meager half-kilogram of payload to the Moon. To put that into perspective, launching a standard single apple for an astronaut's lunch would trigger a staggering $200,000 bill. shipping heavy mining equipment and transporting tons of raw helium-3 back home using conventional chemical rockets would completely bankrupt human civilization before the first light bulb could even turn on. But where traditional physics demands a dead end, a radical, almost terrifying solution has emerged from the drawing boards of Chinese scientists. An $18 billion magnetic launch system, a literal giant cosmic trebuchet built directly on the lunar plains. The pure physics behind this colossal machine sounds like an artifact ripped straight out of a science fiction nightmare. Picture a massive, 50-meter-long rotating mechanical arm built from advanced, ultra-lightweight alloys and supercooled electromagnets. Powered by a hybrid network of solar grids and compact nuclear reactors, this mechanical titan spins its payload faster and faster in a frantic, blinding circle, mimicking the explosive centrifugal force of an Olympic hammer throw event. Because the moon suffers from a terribly weak gravitational pull and lacks any atmosphere to create drag, there is no air to slow the machine down. Once the arm reaches the exact escape velocity of the moon, it releases its heavy cargo capsule, hurling it effortlessly into the dark abyss toward Earth. This engineering masterpiece could launch valuable resources twice a day, every single day, while remarkably recovering over 70% of the energy used after every release. By completely bypassing the need for expensive, heavy chemical rockets, this mechanical beast turns the unforgiving void into a cheap, highly efficient As this colossal magnetic launcher moves from the drawing board toward reality, it brings with it a chilling parallel to Robert A. Heinlein's sci-fi masterpiece, The Moon is a Harsh Mistress. In that haunting tale, a lunar colony seizes control of a similar electromagnetic catapult, using it to launch massive rocks down into Earth's gravity well to force their independence. Today, that fiction is bleeding directly into a tense geopolitical reality. The dark, unspoken military truth of a mass driver is terrifying. Any system engineered to effortlessly fling heavy resource capsules to Earth can instantly be weaponized. With a simple shift in targeting coordinates, this $18 billion machine becomes a kinetic superweapon, capable of hurling solid boulders through our atmosphere with the destructive force of artificial meteors, erasing entire cities in blinding flashes of fire without ever firing a single missile. Beyond the dark shadows of warfare, the project presents a series of agonizing engineering nightmares. Designers must figure out how to anchor and stabilize an 80-ton mechanical monster spinning at violent escape velocity speeds on a rugged, powdery, and uneven lunar surface. The structure must endure the absolute extremes of the lunar environment. Yes, where temperatures swing brutally from a scorching 120 degrees Celsius in the sun down to a bone-chilling minus 130 degrees in the dark, all while being constantly bombarded by unfiltered cosmic radiation and solar flares that can fry electronic components in a heartbeat. Yet, despite these staggering hurdles, the timeline for this cosmic forge is moving at a frantic pace. Project managers are targeting 2030 to have the first critical, scaled components ready for lunar testing. If these milestones hold, full-scale mass driver operations are projected to begin by 2045. We are no longer talking about a distant, abstract dream for future generations. We are witnessing the construction of a machine that will permanently alter the balance of power on Earth before the middle of this century. The construction of this colossal lunar trebuchet is the opening salvo of an unprecedented, high-stakes lunar gold rush. We are moving toward a frantic future where China's planned 2035 South Pole Research Station will directly share the lunar dust with ambitious American private aerospace startups. This pristine, quiet wilderness is transforming into a bustling industrial frontier. These competing factions will be forced into a complex dance, balancing aggressive geopolitical posturing with the absolute life-or-death necessity of mutual survival in a world that wants to kill them. It is a tinderbox, but also the ultimate forge for human cooperation. Looking back at the vast distance we have covered, from the violent birth of our satellite to the discovery of Changisite-Y, we arrive at a breathtaking synthesis. Humanity is finally standing at the twilight threshold of a brand new era. We are no longer a primitive species trapped in a terrestrial cradle, desperately burning the ancient, decayed remains of fossil fuels. By harvesting helium-3 and mastering the brutal physics of the mass driver, we are reaching out into the stars to steal the pure, clean fire of the sun itself. The deepest lesson written across the barren lunar plains is that extreme environmental pressure is not a destructive force, but the ultimate catalyst for transformation. The harsh vacuum, the razor-sharp dust, and the crushing economics of space are the very hammers shaping us into a multi-planetary species. When you look up at the moon tonight, do not see it as a dead silver rock hanging uselessly in the night sky. See it for what it truly is, our first stepping stone into the infinite dark, a divine, resource-rich harbor waiting to launch our civilization into a limitless tomorrow. The journey from a forgotten lunar desert to the ultimate energy frontier teaches us that the universe never places its greatest treasures in easy reach. The pristine power of helium-3 is locked behind toxic, razor-sharp dust and the staggering, brutal physics of cosmic transportation. Yet, instead of turning back, humanity is reshaping its reality, designing revolutionary mass drivers to bridge the infinite void. It proves that barriers are not meant to stop us. They are designed to force our evolution, pushing human ingenuity out of its terrestrial cradle and into the eternal dawn of a multiplanetary future. The deepest truth written across the barren lunar plains is the law of environmental pressure. Think about it. The moon has spent billions of years being violently bombarded by cosmic radiation and solar winds. It has no protective atmosphere, no gentle oceans. Yet, because it stood unprotected in the line of fire, it hoarded millions of tons of helium-3, the most clean, powerful fuel source in the known universe. Furthermore, the very crystal that contains this treasure, Changisite-Y, was forged in the crushing molten. When life overwhelms you with immense stress, heavy expectations, or sudden chaotic changes, your instinct might be to retreat or feel crushed. Instead, shift your perspective and embrace the pressure. See the forge, not the vice. Stop viewing difficulties as an invisible weight trying to break you. Recognize them as the cosmic machinery forcing you to shed your old, fragile boundaries. Find the energy in the struggle. Just like the moon turned billions of years of harsh solar bombardment into a gold mine of clean energy, your darkest, most challenging seasons are precisely where you accumulate your greatest internal strength, wisdom, and resilience. Remain fluid and adaptable. To mine the treasure of the moon, scientists had to abandon old chemical rockets and invent the mass driver. When your current methods fail under pressure, do not give up. Change your strategy, adapt your mindset, and build your own metaphorical machine to conquer the obstacle. You are not being crushed by life. You are simply being forged into something brilliant and unstoppable. What do you think is our biggest obstacle to living on the moon? The deadly, razor-sharp dust? Or the intense geopolitical rivalry between nations? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. We would love to read your perspective and learn from each other. And if this cosmic journey sparked your curiosity today, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Your incredible support is what